The subway station was louder than usual that evening. Trains roared past. Announcements echoed through cracked speakers. People rushed in every direction, tired after long hours of work. No one expected anything unusual to happen. Until suddenly, slap. A sharp sound cut through the noise like lightning. Everyone froze. Heads turned. Conversation stopped. Phones paused mid-scroll. A well-dressed young man stood in the middle of the platform, his hands still in the air. In front of him stood a quiet man in a simple hoodie, holding an old backpack. That man was Keanu Reeves. But most people didn't recognize him yet. The bully laughed loudly. "Did you feel that?" he mocked. "Maybe now you'll learn to stand properly." People stared in shock. Some whispered, "Did he really just slap him? Why would anyone do that?" Keanu didn't shout. He didn't push back. He didn't even look angry. He slowly lowered his eyes and took a deep breath. For a moment, it seemed like he didn't even hear the insult. The bully stepped closer. "What? Lost your voice? Or are you too scared to talk?" He pointed at Keanu's clothes. "Look at you. Cheap hoodie. Old bag. Riding subway like a nobody." Then he laughed again. "I thought famous people were supposed to live like kings." Still, Keanu said nothing. He simply adjusted the strap of his backpack and stood quietly. That calmness made the bully even more furious. "Hey, I'm talking to you," he shouted. He pushed Keanu's shoulder. Some people nearby felt uncomfortable. An old man frowned. A woman covered her mouth. A student started recording. Something felt wrong. This wasn't just about an insult anymore. It was about pride. About ego. About a man trying to feel powerful by humiliating someone else. And little did he know, the man he had just slapped was loved by millions, respected by the world, and famous not for his strength, but for his kindness. In just a few minutes, this moment would turn his confidence into regret. And what happened next would change everything. The subway platform slowly returned to its normal noise after the shocking slap. Trains continued to arrive and leave. Announcements echoed again. People tried to act like nothing had happened. But deep inside, everyone was still thinking about that moment. About the quiet man who was insulted. About the bully who seemed proud of himself. Keanu Reeves stood near the pillar, exactly where he had been before. He didn't move away. He didn't complain. He didn't call anyone. He simply waited. As if patience was something he had practiced all his life. A few minutes earlier, Keanu had entered the station quietly, just like he always did. No assistants. No bodyguards. No luxury cars. He preferred living like a normal person. He liked walking through crowded streets. He liked using public transport. He liked feeling connected to real life. That evening he had finished a long day of filming. His body was tired. His mind was heavy. He had spent hours repeating scenes, retakes, and interviews. All he wanted was to go home, drink tea, and read his favorite book. So he chose the subway. He wore his usual simple clothes. A gray hoodie, black jeans, and worn-out sneakers. The backpack on his shoulders wasn't for show. Inside it were his script pages, a notebook full of ideas, and a small photo of his late friend. He always carried that photo with him. It reminded him to stay grounded. Meanwhile, the bully had arrived at the station in a very different mood. His name was Ryan Carter. A young businessman who had recently made a lot of money through risky investments. Sudden success had changed him. Expensive suits. Luxury watches. Latest phone. He believed money made him superior. That evening Ryan was angry. His biggest deal had failed. His investors were pressuring him. His ego was wounded. So he needed someone to blame. Someone weaker. Someone silent. When he entered the station he pushed through people without apology. "Move," he muttered. "Can't you see I'm in a hurry?" No one dared to respond. Then he noticed Keanu. A calm man. Quiet. Standing alone. No arrogance. No attitude. To Ryan that looked like weakness. Perfect target. He walked closer and said loudly, "Hey, are you blocking the way or practicing to be homeless?" Keanu looked up slowly. "I'm sorry if I'm in your way," he replied politely. That kindness confused Ryan. Most people either argued or ran away. But this man did neither. Instead of calming him, it irritated him. "Don't act smart with me," Ryan snapped. "People like you should know their place." That's when anger took control. Before anyone could react, he slapped Keanu. Now, as Keanu stood silently on the platform, memories of that moment replayed in everyone's mind. Some felt guilty for not stopping it. Some felt scared. Some felt ashamed. A middle-aged woman whispered to her husband, "He didn't deserve that." A teenager muttered. That guy is cruel. But no one spoke out loud. Because fear is louder than courage. And respect is often silent. Yet unknown to everyone standing there, this quiet situation was about to explode into something much bigger. Something that would teach one man humility, and remind the world why kindness matters. The air on the subway platform felt heavier than before. It wasn't just crowded anymore. It was tense. People pretended to look at their phones, but their eyes kept returning to Keanu and Ryan. No one knew what would happen next. Ryan stood in front of Keanu with his chest puffed out. He felt powerful. For the first time that day, he felt in control. So, Ryan sneered. Still playing the silent game? Keanu looked at him calmly. I don't want any trouble, he said softly. We're just waiting for the train. That gentle answer irritated Ryan even more. Trouble? He laughed. You think I'm scared of you? He stepped closer, invading Keanu's personal space. People like you survive because people like me allow it. A few passengers exchanged worried looks. An old man shook his head slowly. A young girl held her mother's hand tighter. Ryan continued. Look at your shoes, he mocked. Probably older than my phone. Some people laughed nervously. Others felt uncomfortable. Keanu glanced down at his shoes, then back up. These shoes have taken me to many beautiful places, he replied quietly. That simple sentence confused Ryan. He expected anger. He expected fear. But he got wisdom. And that made him feel small. So he attacked harder. You think you're deep? Ryan snapped. You're just pretending to be smart. He poked Keanu's chest with his finger. Say something real, coward. At that moment, a security camera above them blinked red. Everything was being recorded. But Ryan didn't care. He was blinded by ego. A nearby student whispered. Someone should stop him. But no one moved. Fear glued them to the ground. Keanu took a slow breath. Why are you so angry? He asked gently. That question hit Ryan like a slap. Memories rushed into his mind. Failed deals. Disappointed parents. Late nights. Loneliness. But he pushed them away. Shut up, he shouted. You don't know me. He grabbed Keanu's hoodie collar. Gasps filled the platform. Hey, someone cried. Let him go. Ryan hesitated for a second. Then he released his grip and stepped back. But he wasn't done. You think you're better than me? He yelled. With that calm face? Keanu shook his head. No, he said. I think you're hurting. Silence. Those words were not an insult. They were truth. And truth is painful. Ryan's face turned red. Don't psychoanalyze me, he barked. I'm successful. I'm rich. I'm powerful. Keanu looked at him with gentle eyes. Then why do you look so empty? He asked. That was the breaking point. Ryan's hands trembled. People could see it now. This wasn't strength. This was insecurity. This was a man fighting his own failures. His phone buzzed in his pocket. But he ignored it. His pride was louder. Just shut up, he screamed. He raised his hand again. But stopped. Because suddenly, someone behind him said, Sir, that's enough. A firm voice. A brave voice. And for the first time that evening, someone was ready to stand up. Sir, that's enough. The voice was calm but firm. Everyone turned. It belonged to a middle-aged security officer who had just walked onto the platform. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and wore a simple blue uniform. His badge read, Officer Martinez. Ryan froze. For the first time since he entered the station, someone had challenged him. Mind your business, Ryan snapped. This doesn't concern you. Officer Martinez stepped closer. It concerns everyone when you harass someone in public, he replied. People felt a small wave of relief. Finally, someone was doing something. But Ryan wasn't ready to back down. You know who I am? He scoffed. I can get you fired with one phone call. The officer didn't flinch. Maybe, he said calmly. But tonight I'm here to keep people safe. Including him. He gestured toward Keanu. Keanu nodded politely in return. Thank you, he said softly. That simple thank you made some people emotional. Even after being humiliated, he was still respectful. A young woman whispered to her friend. He's so calm. I would have lost it. Her friend replied. That's real strength. More passengers began to pay attention now. Phones came out. Videos started recording. The moment was spreading. Ryan noticed. His confidence began to crack. Stop filming, he shouted. Put those phones away. No one listened. Once the internet wakes up, it never sleeps. An elderly man stepped forward slowly. "Young man," he said, "when I was your age I thought money meant power too." Ryan rolled his eyes. "Not interested in your lecture, Grandpa?" But the old man continued. "I learned the hard way, respect is worth more than gold." Keanu looked at him and smiled gently. "Thank you, sir," he said. The old man nodded back proudly. A teenager nearby whispered, "Wait, I think I recognize him." He zoomed his phone camera. "Guys, that's Keanu Reeves." His friends gasped. "No way." "Seriously?" They searched online. Photos, interviews, movies. It matched. "Bro, it's him." The news spread like fire. Keanu Reeves is here. The actor. John Wick. The Matrix guy. People stared in disbelief. Some felt embarrassed. They had watched silently. Now they realized who he was. Ryan heard the whispers. His heart skipped. "Keanu Reeves?" he muttered. He looked at Keanu carefully now. The calm eyes. The familiar face. The gentle smile. Reality hit him. Art. His mouth went dry. His hands became cold. I didn't know," he whispered. Officer Martinez raised an eyebrow. "Does it matter?" he asked. Ryan couldn't answer. Because it didn't. Wrong was wrong. Whether the victim was famous or not. More people gathered around. Some apologized quietly. "I'm sorry we didn't speak up," a woman said. Keanu shook his head. "It's okay," he replied. "Fear makes people quiet." His words were kind. Not bitter. Not accusing. Just honest. A little boy tugged his mother's sleeve. "Mom, why was that man mean?" The mother sighed. "Because he forgot how to be kind." Ryan heard that. And it hurt more than any insult. His phone buzzed again. This time he checked. Dozens of notifications. Messages. Texts. Alerts. "Bro, you're trending. You messed up. Delete your accounts." His face turned pale. Sweat formed on his forehead. He realized this wasn't just a scene. This was becoming his reputation. His future. His mistake. Keanu noticed his shaking hands. "Sit down," he said gently. "You look unwell." Even now, Keanu cared. Ryan's knees weakened. He leaned against a pillar. For the first time in his life, he felt truly small and truly ashamed. The train was approaching. Its distant rumble echoed through the tunnel. And with it came the moment of truth. The distant rumble of the approaching train grew louder. Wind rushed through the tunnel. Loose papers fluttered. People stepped back from the edge of the platform. But no one left. No one wanted to miss what would happen next. Ryan stood near the pillar, pale and shaking. His expensive suit now looked meaningless. His confidence had disappeared. All that remained was fear. Keanu stood a few feet away, calm as ever. Hands in his hoodie pockets. Shoulders relaxed. Face peaceful. As if chaos didn't exist around him. The train slowed down. Metal screeched against rails. With a loud hiss, it stopped. Doors slid open. Passengers stepped out. New ones stepped in. But most people on the platform stayed exactly where they were. Watching. Waiting. Then suddenly, a group of 3 well-dressed men entered from the stairs. They moved quickly. Purposefully. Each carried folders and tablets. Their suits were sharp. Their expressions serious. One of them scanned the crowd nervously. Then his eyes landed on Keanu. His face lit up. "There he is," he whispered. They hurried forward. "Mr. Reeves?" the tallest man called out. Keanu looked up. "Yes," he replied. The man extended his hand. "We've been trying to reach you for hours." The meeting location changed. Another man added, "Your driver is waiting outside, sir." People gasped. "Driver? Meeting? Sir?" Ryan's heart skipped. "What meeting?" he whispered. The first man lowered his voice. "The charity board meeting," he said. "The hospital funding project." Keanu nodded. "All right. I lost track of time. Lost track of time. After being slapped. After being humiliated. After being surrounded." He had still been thinking about helping others. The men noticed the tense atmosphere. One of them frowned. "Is everything okay, sir?" Keanu glanced at Ryan. Then back at them. "Yes," he said. "We're just having a conversation. Not an argument. Not a fight. A conversation." That word hit Ryan like a punch. Officer Martinez stepped forward. "These gentlemen arrived at the right time," he said. "There was an incident." The men looked concerned. "What kind of incident?" Before the officer could answer, a young man in the crowd spoke loudly. "He slapped him." Silence. The men froze. You slapped Mr. Reeves? One asked slowly. All eyes turned to Ryan. He felt trapped. I didn't know who he was, he stammered. One of the men replied sharply. Do you only treat people with respect when they're famous? That question had no escape. Ryan's lips trembled. I was wrong, he whispered. I was angry. I took it out on him. Keanu stepped forward. He apologized, he said. People were shocked. He was protecting the man who hurt him. He's human, Keanu continued. He made a mistake. The crowd murmured. Some nodded. Some were confused. Ryan looked at Keanu in disbelief. Why are you helping me? He asked quietly. Keanu met his eyes. Because someone once helped me when I didn't deserve it, he replied. A reporter who happened to be nearby whispered into her phone. This is unreal. Videos were already online. Millions were watching. Hashtags were rising. Hashtag respect Keanu. Hashtag subway lesson. Hashtag kindness wins. Ryan's phone vibrated non-stop. He didn't even check anymore. He knew. His life had changed. One of the suited men handed Keanu a folder. Sir, about the donation. Keanu waved his hand. Later, he said. Right now, someone needs more help. He turned to Ryan. You said you were stressed, he said. Do you want to talk? No cameras. No drama. Just concern. Ryan's eyes filled with tears. I think I've been lonely for a long time, he admitted. People went quiet. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was real. The officer cleared his throat. Train is leaving soon, he said gently. Keanu nodded. He picked up his backpack. Before entering the train, he turned back. To everyone here, he said. Thank you for caring. Then he looked at Ryan one last time. Use this moment, he said. Don't let it destroy you. Let it change you. Ryan swallowed hard. I will, he promised. The doors began to close. As the train slowly moved away, everyone realized they had just witnessed something rare. Not revenge. Not humiliation. But redemption. The train disappeared into the dark tunnel. Its fading rumble slowly blended with the usual noise of the subway. People stood quietly. No one rushed away. It was as if everyone needed a moment to breathe, to understand what they had just witnessed. Ryan remained near the pillar, frozen. His reflection stared back at him from the glass wall. A man he barely recognized. Eyes red. Face pale. Confidence shattered. The powerful businessman persona was gone. Only a broken human being remained. Officer Martinez approached him slowly. You okay, son? He asked gently. Ryan nodded weakly. I think so. I just don't know who I am anymore. The officer placed a hand on his shoulder. Sometimes life shakes you to wake you, he said. Nearby, the elderly man who had spoken earlier returned. He sat beside Ryan on the bench. Mind if I sit? He asked. Ryan shook his head. No, please. For a few minutes they said nothing. Trains came and went. People slowly left. But Ryan stayed, stuck in his thoughts. I never planned to be this person, Ryan said quietly. My father used to tell me, respect matters more than money. He laughed bitterly. I didn't listen. The old man nodded. Most of us learn late, he replied. The lucky ones still learn. Ryan wiped his face. My company, my friends, they only care about success, he admitted. When I failed, I felt useless. So you tried to feel powerful, the old man said. Yes, Ryan whispered. Officer Martinez joined them. You're not weak for feeling lost, he said. You're weak if you refuse to change. Those words stayed with Ryan. His phone buzzed again. This time he answered. Hello. A nervous voice replied. Ryan, sponsors are calling. Investors are worried. What happened? Ryan closed his eyes. I made a mistake, he said. And I'm going to own it. He hung up. For the first time he didn't run. He didn't hide. He faced it. That night Ryan didn't go to a club. He didn't meet friends. He didn't drown himself in noise. He went home. He sat alone. And he wrote. A public apology. Not a fake one. Not a lawyer-written one. A real one. From his heart. I disrespected a stranger. I embarrassed myself. I hurt someone who showed me kindness. I'm sorry. He posted it. Then he turned off his phone. The next morning he did something unexpected. He visited a community center. A place he had once donated to for publicity. This time he went alone. No cameras. No posts. He asked, how can I help? They gave him work. Cleaning floors. serving food, listening to stories. At first it felt strange, then it felt right. Days passed. Weeks passed. Ryan changed. He sold his luxury car. Started using public transport. He remembered Keanu standing calmly on that same platform, and tried to live the same way. One evening, months later, Ryan received an email. Subject, proud of you. It was from Keanu. I heard about your work at the center. Keep going. The world needs more healed hearts. Ryan cried when he read it. Not from shame. From gratitude. From hope. From rebirth. Years later, Ryan would tell this story to young employees. Success means nothing, he'd say, if you lose your humanity. And it all started with one slap and one man's forgiveness. Years had passed since that night at the subway station. The platform looked the same. Same pillars. Same signs. Same rushing crowd. But for Ryan Carter, it would never be the same. Every time he passed through that station, he remembered the man in the gray hoodie. The man who chose kindness over revenge. The man who changed his life without raising his voice. Ryan now stood on a small stage inside a youth conference hall. In front of him sat dozens of young people. Students, entrepreneurs, dreamers. They were listening carefully. Once, Ryan began, I thought money made me important. Some nodded. I thought wearing expensive clothes meant success. I thought shouting louder meant power. He paused. I was wrong. The hall was silent. I hurt someone I didn't even know, he continued. Not because he deserved it, but because I was broken inside. He told them the story. The slap. The silence. The forgiveness. Some listeners wiped their eyes. Keanu Reeves never insulted me, Ryan said. He never embarrassed me. He never tried to destroy me. He saved me. That word echoed. Saved. After the speech, a young boy approached him. Mister, the boy asked, why didn't he get angry? Ryan smiled softly. Because strong people don't need to prove they're strong, he replied. Meanwhile, across the city, Keanu Reeves sat quietly in a small cafe. A notebook lay open in front of him. He was writing. Not about fame. Not about money. Not about awards. About people. About moments. About lessons. He once wrote, every stranger is fighting a battle you cannot see. Be gentle. That sentence would later go viral. But Keanu never cared. He never chased attention. He only chased peace. Back at the subway station, a plaque had been placed near the pillar. Read, kindness changes lives. Choose it. Few people knew its story, but many felt its meaning. A tired worker once stopped and read it. He had been angry that day. Late, stressed, frustrated. He took a deep breath and chose not to shout at the cashier. A student read it and decided not to bully a classmate. A businessman read it and decided to apologize to his employee. One message, many lives. That is the power of humility. This story is not about a celebrity. It's about you. It's about me. It's about every moment when we have two choices. To hurt, or to heal. To insult, or to understand. To shout, or to listen. The world today is loud. Everyone wants attention. Everyone wants to be right. Everyone wants to win. But very few want to be kind. And that is why kindness stands out. Like light in darkness. Keanu once said in an interview, I'm just trying to be a decent human being. Not a hero. Not a legend. Just decent. And maybe, that's the highest level of success. Ryan now keeps a small photo in his wallet. A blurry screenshot from that subway video. It shows Keanu standing calmly. Hands in pockets. Eyes gentle. Whenever Ryan feels angry, he looks at it and remembers. Remember who he was. Remember who he became. Remember who helped him change. Because true strength is not in fists. It is in forgiveness. True power is not in wealth. It is in wisdom. True success is not in fame. It is in character. So next time someone annoys you, next time life frustrates you, next time anger rises in your chest, pause, breathe, ask yourself, will I be remembered for my ego or my empathy? Because one small act, one quiet moment, one gentle response can change a life, maybe even yours. If you believe respect is real strength, type respect in the comments. Folded hands. If you believe kindness still matters, share this story with someone who needs it today. And tell me where you're watching from. I read every comment and I'm grateful for each of you. Red Heart. Until next time, stay humble, stay kind, stay human.